That Sativa from the dispensary, it's not energizing you like it used to, and it's not just in your head. You bought it expecting focus, creativity, and enough motivation to meal prep, do some laundry, and maybe even connect with old baby mama. Instead, 45 minutes later, you're on the couch watching a documentary about ancient cooking techniques while ordering DoorDash. And baby mama? She gone. But here's the part most people do not understand. Sativa might not have been even the reason you felt uplifted to begin with. Have you ever wondered what's actually inside of a cannabis plant? What is the difference between indica and sativa? Is it different chemicals? Kinda, but not in the way that you probably think. There's no sativa molecule. There's no chemical inside of cannabis called daytime energy. Damn, that bud tender lied to me. How could this get any worse? Oh, it gets worse. Shit. If you're shopping by the word sativa and or the highest THC number, you are probably choosing the exact wrong cannabis strain to get the effect you want. Because what I'm about to tell you, they don't print on the jars. My name's Josh GRAMBO. I've been growing cannabis for 15 years, and for the last 3 years, I've been obsessed with studying, teaching, and researching this amazing plant that we all love. And here's what I've learned. Sure, cannabis is complicated, but dispensaries have the marketing subtleties of a fast food restaurant. You still don't walk into a dispensary and ask for a specific chemovar with a cannabinoid and terpene profile that will work very well with my endocannabinoid system. They ask, yo, you got that no-cap gas-ass sativa? No-cap gas? Gas-ass sativa? Well, however you ask for sativa, this is the language that all the industry has been training customers to use. Sativa means up feeling, indica means down feeling. And now I understand why this fake sativa system exists at all. Simple, it's easy to explain, and it's very convenient for bud tenders. Easy don't mean accurate. When you reduce a complicated plant down to just small variables, people start buying off a label, not off true effect. And that is where the sativa scam begins. Sativa and indica were never meant to be mood settings. They describe how plants grow, not the effect that they give you. Sativa type plants were usually taller, skinnier, stretchier, way longer flowering times. We're talking the difference between 8 weeks up to 12, 16, or more. Indica type plants are usually shorter, bushier, perhaps faster flowering, and most often had those broad, thick shack hand leaves. But those are distinctions based on growth, not on effect. They do not guarantee that one strain will make you clean your house and the other strain will make you wake up at 3 a.m. on the toilet eating a sandwich. Not that I would know. And that's phase one of the sativa scam. Dispensaries began associating this BS sativa hybrid crap with actual pure landrace type sativas that actually have those uplifting effects. They found a loophole that they could drive a damn truck through. No longer do they need to find old school genetics and spend the extra time flowering out these long landrace strains. They can just give you a 55% sativa and get you out the door. But a 55% sativa is not a sativa. That's a 45% indica with a sativa twist. Then you wonder why sativa makes you tired. That's because the sativa you got was never what you were sold it was to begin with. Cannabis is not one single ingredient. It's an entire entourage. Entourage effect joke. Nice. THC matters, but THC is not the whole high. If that was the case, every single dispensary would just be full of 28% THC strains. I mean, they are, but, you know, it would actually mean something then. But when it comes to sativa, they're not all created equal. Some make you feel bright and creative. Some make you feel heavy and sleepy. Some make you feel anxious and racy. Some make you want to create music. Some have you waking up eating toilet sandwiches. Dog. Damn. Toilet sandwiches. Moving on. So here's the easiest way to understand it. THC is like the engine of a car. That's where the power comes from. But an engine is not a car. Other cannabinoids help shape where that power takes you. They're like the gearbox, and then the terpenes, esters, thiols, all those other VOC aromatic compounds, they help steer the experience. So when someone says this flower's 30% THC, it must be good, that's like saying this guy's rich, he must be cool. So hopefully my sativa car analogy makes sense. But is it the whole story? Cannabis is the machine, but the vehicle changes depending on who's driving it. Your individual body plays a bigger effect than you might think. Two people can consume the exact same flower and have polar opposite experiences. One person feels focused, the other feels anxious. One feels creative, the other feels sleepy. One person's cleaning the kitchen, and the other, toilet sandwiches. Some people are allergic to peanuts. And some of y'all watching this video literally live off of honey and peanut butter Uncrustables. George, So now let's talk about the real hidden variable in the sativa scam, harvest window. So you know those little pieces of frost on the outside of a bud, those little crystals, those are called trichomes. And at the top of those are called the trichome head. It's like a little crystal ball. That's where all the cannabinoids, terpenes, all start out. The oil starts out as clear, and that dictates not only when you harvest it, but what the effect is when you do. Clear, that kind of indicates that the plant's still pretty immature. Milky white trichomes usually indicate that it's getting almost time for harvest and you need to start paying attention. Then they turn amber, and that's when it's actually go time. 0% amber, that's gonna be a pretty sativa-y feeling. 100% amber, you're gonna get that indica sleepy feeling. I almost guarantee it. That means a plant with genetically uplifting potential becomes much heavier based on something that has nothing to do with the genetic code. Because as that trichome opens up and what's in it starts to degrade, it goes from things like THC, CBD, down to CBN. CBN is actually the thing that creates the sleepiness in cannabis, not indica. So now I have to talk about why the industry keeps doing this. I say it's because corporations don't care about your perfect daytime high. That's not a sativa. That's a guaranteed nap with great marketing. So what should you actually do? Here's GRAMBO's 8 ways of finding bud that actually gives you that uplifting high you're looking for. First, stop trusting the word sativa all by itself. The first question you need to ask is, what percentage is it? Is it a 55% hybrid, or is it a 95% or 100% sativa landrace? Second, stop assuming that high THC number is doing anything to help. That THC percentage is a measure of power, not effect. So just like a powerful car with no steering wheel, you're not going to get to where you want to go just with a powerful engine. Third, track what actually works for you. Now, I know this is inconvenient. Write down that cultivar or strain. Write down where you got it. Write down anything you know about the growing. Write down anything you know about the growing style. Write down how it affected you. Now you can build your own cannabis map and actually start to figure out what actually affects your system. Fourth, try your best to pay attention to the grower. If not the grower, the location. Durban poison from one dispensary might affect you one way. Durban poison from another might affect you completely differently. Write it down, pay attention. Fifth, check freshness whenever possible. Those places that are reputable have a grown by date. Old flower sitting on a shelf does not help you find that bright terpene-rich flower you're looking for. Sixth, ask if they know about the terpene content of the weed. A lot of tests when they test cannabis actually come with terpene reports. You can start figuring out, hey, is myrcene affecting me better than limonene? There's only one way to find out, and that's to ask, write it down, and check it next time. Seventh, you could try a different consumption method. Here's the thing. Different terpenes and cannabinoids volatilize at different temperatures. So if you're smoking out of a joint, that's one temperature. If you're smoking out of a tiny one hitter, that's a way lower temperature. So the cooler that you're smoking, that might release a bit more of those VOCs, volatile organic compounds, that we're actually looking for that actually modulate the high. Eighth, and what I really recommend in this channel is grow your own. If legally in your state you can grow some plants, even if it's only 2 or 3 or 4 or 12, like we do here in Colorado. Honestly, try it. It's fun. Growing even a couple plants in a tiny space teach you more about how inputs affect outputs and what flower actually affects you the best. Choose your own genetics. You can scope those trichomes exactly when you know you want to harvest for the maximum sativa effect. Write that all down and figure out what actually works for you. Now you know for essentially the rest of your life. So when people say that sativa doesn't affect them like it used to, I don't think they're lying. It's not that sativa got worse. It's that sativa might not have ever been the magic ingredient that you thought it was. So let me know in the comments, what's the most energizing sativa that you've had this year? Scratch that. What is the most energizing sativa you've had ever? I need to know in the comments. And if you got any funny stories, leave a comment below. So I'm going to ask you guys, if you enjoyed this, if you learned something, smoke that like button. Shh. Subscribe if you vibe. Cannabis content gets pushed into the shadow realm. And if you don't subscribe, you won't even know that we exist. And you see that share button right there? Man, roll this video up and pass it to a friend, because sharing is caring. My name's Josh GRAMBO. This is GRAMBO Grows. And before we go, I have to ask, have you ever wanted a strain that helped you get a really good night's sleep? Well,